Hey
everyone!
everyone! Welcome to Rooted Conversations. Rooted in truth, open in conversation.
Honest conversation and real life experience help you feel seen, encouraged, and grounded.
Let's dive into this week's episode.
Good evening, everyone, and God bless you all. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Tonight, we are pleased to welcome Charlotte, owner of the Sugarcane and Shepard Desserts, where Victoria's sister works and bakes. Charlotte has graciously agreed to share the story behind her business, the connections she made, and some of the lessons she has learned along the way.
Charlotte, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. I'm really excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you here. So we go way back. So let's just be honest about that. You're practically family.
I feel that.
You're practically family. So thank you.
Before we begin tonight's conversation, let's start with our weekly check-in. Charlotte, we will also love for you to participate in our check-in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how was your week? How was everyone's week? Yeah.
My week has been going good. We are encroaching on our fall wedding season.
Ooh.
So I'm excited for that because that sounds so good.
Oh my gosh, it's a busy time of year for sure,
Mhm.
because it goes from back to school, then into wedding season, then right into the holidays. Can you believe that it's like Thanksgiving and Christmas already?
So ready. You have no idea.
Oh my gosh, when I went to Sam's Club like last week and they have the Halloween decorations already up, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it's coming.
We love that. I love that.
I like the Apple Festival
Yes.
Can't wait for that.
and the fair.
The
Oh,
fair.
the
fair.
I need a
I saw
funnel
that.
cake and some lemonade.
Oh my gosh.
Your
Yes.
inner child comes out. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Y'all better not take me on the, that wheel, Forest wheel, the thing.
Yeah.
The Ferris wheel.
Ferris
Sorry,
wheel.
that's what it is.
I do not like heights, so I do not do the rides because I also get very motion sick,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
here for the food and the
Oh, yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
Last year, I think I went, there was so many animals.
They're so cute.
They're so cute. It brings me joy.
I wanted
I
a
love
baby
it.
cow, and then I realized, what am I going to do with the baby?
Yeah.
Victoria, like you don't even have a place for a baby cow, and you were so busy to not even take care of a baby cow. So
Intrusive
they're
thoughts,
cute.
though.
Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, sure.
I can have Joseph take care of it. It's all fine.
There you go.
Joseph is my brother for all my listeners out there. All of our listeners out there. Sorry.
Dang.
But what about you, girl? How's your week?
Oh, it's been a great week. Just staying busy and trying to get back to the regular now that all the boys are back to school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been kind of me getting the whole schedule back in order and staying busy with work and the mommy life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
nothing really crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds like a calm, but great week.
Yeah, it's been calm.
I'm jealous.
That's what we strive for, right?
Yes.
It's calm.
Calm and collective.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, my week has been great. Just focus on myself. Staying busy, and went to the park. The other day we walked. On the
We
trail.
did 2 miles, bro.
2 miles.
We did 2 miles.
That's amazing.
It was great.
I bet it was hot.
It was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was rough.
My legs were sore the next day.
My shins are still sore
Oh,
from running. It was rough.
oh, you ran.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, I am definitely not a runner. I like a slower pace.
Mhm.
A good hike, but flat.
Yeah.
Right.
See, I'm the type of runner. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run for a little bit and I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna run for a little bit
I'm
and
gonna
I'm gonna
pause.
pause. Listen, I usually don't run for anything unless it's cheesecake or somebody's chasing me.
Exactly.
And for my health.
Oh my goodness.
I love me some cheesecake.
Yes.
I love the cheesecake.
Well, for me, I just got back from Charleston and it was great. We had a great sibling trip. Water was clear and I got to see somebody catch a hammerhead shark off the pier.
Whoa.
It was crazy and
Off the pier?
off the pier,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it was awesome. I saw jellyfish,
Ooh.
so many of them. I was able to swim, and thank God, because I prayed. I was like, God, please protect me in this water. Please protect me in this water. Every time God was out there in my head. And, but the water was clear. I was all the way up to my shoulders. It was
Wow,
great.
that's
Like, I had a
amazing.
great time, and, got to go downtown and eat at these really fancy restaurants. So I mean, it was a true blessing. It was a true vacation, and I really hate that I came back. But I know I have to. I know there's things waiting for me here, and I also wanted to get back because there's so many projects that all of us are working on, and so I'm eager.
Yeah.
It was a good refresh start.
Yeah.
How about that?
Honestly, we all need a break, honestly, from work and stuff.
You deserve that.
Yeah,
Exactly. We all do. We all do. But that kind of brings us in our topic today. Like people often see like the finished product behind everything, right? But they don't always see like our work. Uncertainty, sacrifices, the personal growth that goes behind a business or within yourself, trying to make yourself better. I know in today's conversation, as business owners, and as part of entrepreneurship, like these aren't really discussed enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, Charlotte, we appreciate you joining, and checking in and spending time with us here tonight and taking time out of your busy schedule. Because as owner to owner, I know it is like time is so spare and so rare to find. We are excited to hear about your journey as a business owner and the story behind Sugarcane and Shepard Desserts, which I know a little bit about, but I cannot wait to fully know. And the relationships you really have built because of your career. So let's begin with how it started all.
Yeah, tell us a little bit. So how did your passion for baking start?
Well, I'd say since I was about 6 years old, I've loved to bake. My mom likes to tell everybody that I never outgrew the play kitchen, those little plastic foods.
I love them things.
Right?
Like, so good.
that was my favorite toy when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And when I was younger, I was obsessed with like the grocery store and the refrigerator, and I would like take stuff out and rearrange it. And then I started playing with other toys and making like puzzle soup. I'd take a bunch of puzzle pieces and just put them all together. Yep. So my parents could tell that I was very interested in food and being creative. Yeah. So they really fostered that. And so when I went to high school and it was time to like pick a college and a career, I applied to the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. And I got in and I did my bachelor's program through that, which was super successful, I'd say, because I ended up graduating at the top of my class. Okay. Wow. Awesome. And
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you. It's not a traditional school in the sense that for the first 2 years, you're just in the kitchen. And it's a really good test to see, are you going to make it in a professional environment? And a lot of people don't make the cut. They drop out because a kitchen is a very demanding environment.
It is.
And so once you pass that section, you do another 2 years of like the not so fun like college courses to get your bachelor's degree. And then that's where you lose the other portion of people because they're like, I don't want to do this. I just want to be in a kitchen. Right. But I stuck with it and I got my bachelor's degree. And after I graduated, I moved down to North Carolina. I wanted a fresh start. I'm originally from Connecticut. So I just picked Asheville because it was a foodie town. And I thought I'd be able to get a job, even though I didn't have one lined up. And I applied actually at the Biltmore Estate. Okay. And I got a job at Cedric's Tavern in the pastry kitchen.
Yay!
Nice.
I'm just clapping. I love to see you win, girl.
It was a very interesting experience, honestly. I learned that I love to bake, but I don't love the corporate side of the kitchen, to put it mildly, I suppose.
She's looking at me. Corporate. I don't like the corporate. I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
Well, it's not for me.
It's okay. That's fine.
And so when COVID hit and I lost my job because everybody in food and beverage did, because nothing was open, I just started baking out of my home, and I was shipping like through Instagram and Shopify and all these sites. And people were responding really positively. And there was about a year later, there was a spot literally, Tori can tell you, 3 minutes from my house.
It is.
And I saw the Big Four lease sign. And I remember I called my mom as I was driving past and I was like, should I take this chance? And she was like, do it. So I toured the place. I talked to the landlord and I signed the lease. And it took close to 18 months to get it open. because it was a complete blank slate. It had no ovens, no hood system, no cases, no anything. It was literally, which is, I think, a good thing, because it allowed me to be creative and put my own stamp on a place, because it was a chiropractor office before.
Oh, wow.
So it was pretty,
I would have never known.
Right?
You did such a good job.
Well, thank you. So in April of 2021, we opened the doors of Sugarcane and Shepard Desserts, and it's now been 5 and some change years, and I am loving every minute of it.
I love that.
That's amazing.
I love that.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
Love
And I
that.
know like starting a business is like really hard, and people don't really see like the beginning of it. You know, what is something like, you know, surprised you after you did start?
Honestly, probably how much work you actually have to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not just a normal clock in, clock out, 9 to 5 job.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
Something always either needs to be fixed, or you're already working on the next menu, or you're doing payroll in bed at 1 a.m. Like, it's constant, and people are emailing you and calling you and texting you, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And that definitely, I had some expectation of that, but I didn't realize how demanding it would be.
Yeah.
It is. It is so demanding sometimes, you know, like just looking at it, you know, with my perspective and, you know, experience. And I know you guys can relate too. It's like you are up at 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, and there's times like you don't feel good, like you're sick, you know, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna lay here and try and just do these few emails. Or like you're like, okay, this has to be done. Like you start prioritizing like what's on the list, and it doesn't matter like what happens, you still got to show up consistently 24/7. So I get that.
Yeah. Especially because if you don't do it, it's not going to get done.
And who's going to get it done?
It falls on you.
Exactly.
It falls on you. And I have a great team. Don't get me
you
wrong.
do.
I
Yes, you
do,
do.
including Tori's sister, Becca,
Yes.
who has been with me for 4.5 of the 5 and some change years.
And it's going good.
It is going good. She just got married last month.
She did.
Which was a beautiful wedding and a chance for me to thank her by giving her the wedding cake of her dreams, I'd say. But also, I have 2 other girls who work there as well. So we are
Great
a very
girls.
good team.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, they're not the ones answering the emails at 1 in the morning. They get to go home and live their lives. And I'm happy for that. Because that's what I want for them, especially because they're so young.
Right, for sure. And that's the blessing of this, of being an entrepreneur, that you could be laying in bed and answering emails. And that's a great thing, to be honest.
It's true.
It is. And, you know, a business often begins with, like, that idea and your talent, you know? I look at, you know, my sister who does work with you, and our grandmother used to bake all the time, you know, and that's what she loved. And I remember talking to her, and she was at some job, and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? And she's like, you right, or something. I can't even, it's something like that. But, like, it takes that talent, and then it takes a passion. You see what I'm saying? And then you take that passion of your talent and hobby, and you make money from it. But it also requires a lot of planning and a lot of action. You know, starting a business, you know, requires more than just a good idea. Like, you know, it does take the, you know, patience and the courage and the willingness to learn. But I also don't think people see how personal it is. People look at it from a business point of view, but when it's your baby, like your job's your baby, you're starting off, it's personal. And there's an emotional side to that entrepreneurship.
That's true.
Yeah. But, you know, how do we, like, you balance creativity with responsibility and running a business, you know?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
Well, because I think a lot of times when you are running a business, you do less of the stuff that you got into the, like, career for.
Right.
Like, for me, I don't do as much baking these days as I used to, because now I have people who do it, and I have to do the managerial side, the accounting side, all that stuff, the not so fun stuff. But I do get to be creative in a lot of ways still, especially when it comes to my menus.
Mm-hmm.
It is a team effort, but at the end of the day, I get to make the final say on like, we change our menu seasonally. And so I get to come up with flavors and ideas and stuff people may not have seen before. And I guess that's where I get to really shine and be creative. Because the day-to-day baking, it's not so much on me anymore, which is kind of sad, but it's also a sign that I'm growing. Because every CEO out there started, you know,
with
like
nothing.
literally and probably in a basement or a garage or something, doing what they love.
Exactly.
But now they're on the other side, the managerial side.
Yeah.
So,
A whole different level.
yeah.
It is a whole different level. And like people don't see, like it took you, like you just said, 18 months to get the whole facility up and running. People don't see that. They just see the finished product.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of stress that comes with it. There's a lot of change, and you have a life too outside of it. So people, when they walk in, they just say, "Oh, this is a really cute cafe, you know, dessert bar, you know, bakery, you know, and it's beautiful." But they didn't see you putting those oven ranges in. They didn't see you putting those coolers in.
Yeah.
You know, they don't see when it breaks and you have to fix it and call the repairman.
Yeah.
You know, and so, I mean, that's something I think people really need to, like, appreciate more.
Yeah.
I would say.
I agree.
And I definitely think I try to share a lot of me in the business.
Yeah.
When I started it, in all honesty, I was married and I went through a very nasty divorce.
Yeah.
And it was very public for my customers because he and I had been working together and I was getting all the questions. Where is he? Where'd he go? And it became very like personal of like that line became blurred between my personal and my professional life. And so it's definitely true that like, they don't see the stuff that's fixed.
Yeah.
And like, they just see that it's finished, but there's also some like personal elements that they do see.
I know.
And that can be hard.
It is.
Yeah.
And when you go through like a public divorce, everyone knows. Everyone sees it. And you don't have the ability to grieve the way you kind of want to. You kind of go into that survival mode.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it's hard because it comes with like the pressure and the responsibilities. And you're like, I still have to be strong and I still got to make a living.
Yeah. No, definitely. There's a Taylor Swift song, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
Yeah.
And basically saying that it doesn't matter. You, like, at the end of the day, whatever you're going through, you just got to woman up and do it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what you're going through. You just got to get through it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, who will?
Right. And honestly, I think the bakery saved me a lot, not just in my divorce, but also when I lost my service dog, Ravioli, who is the shepherd behind Sugarcane and Shepard.
Hey! He's a cutie.
He was my baby, and he passed 6 months after I opened. He had an intestinal torsion, and he was only 4 years old, and it was the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Because I had done everything for him, really. Like, he was my motivation to, like, keep going when things were hard. And
emotional support.
He was, you know, and so when I lost him, and you just keep going, because, and now I get to tell his story through the bakery.
Yeah.
And I get to tell a lot of stories through the bakery.
Bring awareness.
Yes.
Because people now they take your experience and they take what happened to you and they can learn from it. Like, hey, this happened to me. You know, you have this pet or like this business. This is how I got through it. Hopefully it helps you.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, I like to share my story, not because I love talking about myself, especially because being vulnerable is hard, but I think it's important because somebody else could be going through something similar, and to not feel alone is a huge blessing in life.
I agree with you.
Great. Absolutely.
I agree with you a lot.
Business owners experience stress, loneliness, and uncertainty, even when their businesses appear successful.
I think like growth takes a lot of time. You know, since you said that, Karen, like consistency, like good decisions, and like the willingness to like really adapt to your surroundings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, how has the business changed since it began? Like, I see the finished product and it's like, what? It's like, you know, I mean, them gluten-free cakes are good now.
Yeah. Well, and that's definitely true. It's like when I first opened 5 years ago, yeah, it's the same building, it's the same
Yeah.
equipment, but it's not the same business.
It's not.
It's not. It has evolved into something so much more meaningful for me than just a baking career.
Yeah.
I've gotten to meet people and be a part of the community and go to networking events and just meet other small business owners. And I actually like I said, I moved here 10 years ago and I knew nobody. And now I really feel like I have a family and a community. And I feel like the bakery gifted that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen. That's beautiful.
And you're talking about like the challenges and like you lost your favorite, you know, I say family member. I call them family members.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh,
people
yeah.
refer to them as pets, but they're like family members. And so like you lost, you know, somebody in your family and that was a challenge and you still had to keep it going. So like talking about like overcoming challenges, like besides, you know, him, what else kept your motivation going? What when business became difficult? I should say.
I'd say that throughout the business, there's been moments of different people helping me along the way, whether it's my parents, whether it's your sister, honestly, whether it's my fiance Todd, like, but I think most of it just comes from me.
Yeah.
And I think that in my hardest moments, I just take a minute and I remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I have to remind myself when it's hard that it's not always going to be hard. And that there's a bigger purpose to it, that when we have a slow day and I'm like, how am I going to pay my bills today? That I'm like, well, tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow is a new day. And I think that's what it just comes down to, is believing in yourself, really, because if you don't believe in yourself, it's never going to be successful.
Yeah.
That's true.
And you were talking about like make it be successful. It takes time to run a business.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight.
No.
We've been doing this since the beginning of this year. And if you, like I've said this in our last one, I'm like, if you told us we were this far, I'm like, y'all are crazy. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, a year to literally your whole life will change. You know what I'm saying? And just looking, I bet you think, you said 6 years, right? 5 years that you've been open?
Yeah.
8 years ago. Could you imagine being here?
No.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And so it's just like, wow, life can change. And I think God does put like people around us to make us grow.
Definitely.
You know, while we're becoming.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's important to acknowledge the people who help you along the way. Because at the end of the day, yes, it does all fall on me, but I would not be here without my support system. Because as much as you believe in yourself, sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes you do need somebody else to be like, you got this, and cheer you on. And I'm so grateful that I found those people in my life, because I don't know that I would have continued doing it if I didn't have a reason to keep fighting.
Yeah, and at the end, it's all because of Christ, you know, because he put those people in your life. To motivate you, to remind you that you're capable and that you're able to do it, and you're doing it, and that's great. That's really important.
Yeah, and I think it does, like, he gives you the strength to keep going, you know, and it makes you overcome really important lessons. It makes you a better business owner, it makes you a better boss, it makes you a better friend, a better sibling, mom, whatever your title is outside of it. It makes you a better person. So, I mean, it takes a lot, because having a business is like you planting a seed. Like, you don't see that. When you do form a business, like, it's like, oh, that's an idea. There's your seed, right? And then you start, you know, working at it. You start seeing roots grow. And then when you're here, like where we're at now, where you're at, especially, you're a whole tree with fruit. You know what I'm saying? That's coming off of it, you know. Seeing other people shine, seeing other people make a difference, impacting someone else's life, because, you know, you have employees underneath you now. Now it's not just you, it's their lives too. And that's when you see them win, you win.
Absolutely.
And so it's, you know, I think that's what it really takes to have like a business to grow. Not just grow, but to grow quickly. But in time.
You don't want to grow too quickly before you're ready, because if you grow too quickly, I believe very strongly that everything happens in due time and when it's meant to.
Right.
And my mom always told me, don't be in a hurry to grow up. because you are only that age once,
Mm-hmm.
and just enjoy where you're at and don't long too much for the future.
Yeah.
Because there's no point. Then you're missing the present.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, you know, it's not, you got to be present. You have to be present.
Mhm.
And money is not everything.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
But revenue does not always equal profit, and business growth must be intentional and sustainable.
I think like challenges and mistakes can become like opportunities, you know, like
Mhm.
to learn and to improve. And that's kind of like we were just talking earlier about like relationships and connections. You got to meet all these folks, and you got to meet, you know, all these people, and not just have like a connection with them. And then some of those connections turn into friendships. And then some of those friendships really became family,
Yeah.
you know, and I think it's important to have that, you know.
Mhm.
I definitely view myself as very lucky for the people I've met along the way. And I think it's come pretty full circle now, because in the 5 years I've gone from watching people start dating to then get married, and I do their wedding cake, and then like
Like my sister.
and then like 6 to 9 months later I get to do like a baby gender reveal cake, and then I get to watch their child grow up. And I have customers now who have been with me the full 5 years, and I've gotten to know them like personally, and I know their story, and I know their kids and their mom, and they send people, and they're like, it's beautiful. And then yes, your sister is like the perfect example.
Okay.
Because she came to me when she was 19 years old, and
We were babies.
she was just a baby. She was just I know, she was just a baby, and she came to me. I remember she walked in the door of the bakery, and she was like, "Are you hiring?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm sorry." She was like, "Well, can I just show you some of my work?" And she scrolled through on her phone some pictures of cakes she had done, and I was like, "Okay, you go finish school," because she was in school at the time. I was like, "You go finish, and if you come back, I'll give you a job." And I did not expect her to come back, because it was like 4 months that she had to finish school, and she came back.
Well, she took your word, girl.
She came back.
That's my sister.
And she has been with
She
me
is determined.
ever since.
I love that.
And I'm telling you, on the nights when we're there till 1 a.m, on the Saturday deliveries when she's not scheduled to work, but she knows that I have to be at the bakery, like she has been like the biggest rock in my life through this process. And she's my best friend now. Like, I am so lucky that I get to, and you know, I've grown close with her family, including Tori, and it's just, I've created this community now that I'm so grateful for.
And community is so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's so
agree.
important. And I feel like that really, like, what we were going to talk about next, you know?
Right. Yeah. The importance of mentors and other business owners as well. Like, how important have they been to you?
Definitely. So I don't know anybody who does exactly what I do. So a lot of the other bakeries in the area are much more established.
Right.
The owners have changed hands. They've been around for like 50 years. So I'm not super close with some of them. But a lot of other smaller businesses who started around when I did, I've grown to know some of those owners and created a community of like newer small business owners that I get to network with, and we get to bounce ideas off of. And even if we're not doing the same thing, it all comes down to the same principles of business. I mean, you got to have good marketing. You got to make sure your books are positive, and you got to make sure you're treating your employees right.
Exactly.
And obviously have a good product. But I mean, come on now. I think I've got that one down.
There's like zero doubt in that, like zero doubt.
But so getting to know a lot of other small business owners has been a huge helpful tool, because when you have a question, like you can't, like my parents don't know. Like I feel like growing up, if you have a question, ask your parents, right?
Yeah.
But my parents have never owned a business, so like when I have a question, who do I go to? I go to my small business friends.
Exactly.
And it's nice to have that network.
It's funny how you say that, because like I think you do the same thing as well. Like when we're striving, I know I've come to you a few times and vice versa, and I'm like, okay, I need some executive to executive advice, or let's talk business owner to business owner advice. You know, like this is what I'm going through. How can I figure it out? You know, and it's important because when you make those connections, you know, they come more than just like someone you're acquainted with, you know, and then when you're able to relate on those levels, you know what they're going through and how to help them.
Yeah.
And then you know, like if that doesn't work out, you can come back to them. It's like, hey, this doesn't work out, let's regroup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I think anybody, it doesn't have to be someone like older than you. I think it definitely can be someone like younger than you who can be a mentor in your life. You know, I think God, like I said, puts people in our paths to make us grow.
Definitely.
Very.
And I really try to be a mentor too for the girls at the bakery. I have one employee, she's 17 and she's a senior this year in high school.
Okay.
And she, I know, she's very excited. She turns 18 in just a couple months. The countdown is on.
Oh, okay. We for real.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But she's thinking about going to culinary school.
Okay, cool.
And so she's been asking a lot of questions and like trying to figure out her own path. And I feel like I've been able to like be a mentor to her and like answer some of her questions and like also give her some of the real stuff that like nobody told me about like owning a business or working in the industry. Because when you're in culinary school, they teach you the skills, but they don't tell you what it's really like out there. And so she obviously she has the experience of the bakery, which is a super happy, positive experience because that's what I've created. But not every kitchen job is like that. And so I've tried to make her realize that like, yes, I love like that you are happy here, but you also need to like have some thick skin when you get out into the kitchen world.
That's that.
And
Exactly.
because
You gotta have thick skin in general.
that's true. But especially, and you know this, when you're in a male-dominated industry and you're the woman, especially if you're the boss, you gotta have that thick skin.
You do. And sometimes you have to let it roll back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You gotta let it roll back. I'm thinking.
Oh,
I'm thinking
yeah.
of some things. Listen, no, you're for real though, because like when you are in a male-dominated field as a woman, it is hard. And I'm sure if the guys feel the same way when it's, you know, just one guy and there's tons of women, you know, vice versa. And so you have to grow thick skin. I think the world's not pretty and not everybody's kind and sweet. And you have to literally, I'm going to just say it, grow a pair. Because like you have to be willing to be strong, but yet persistent and consistent at the same time.
I agree.
So, but that kind of leans into it. I know, like, if your family and friends don't underestimate your time as a business owner, like, how do you navigate that?
I think, especially in the beginning, nobody knows how much time it's going to take. Nobody knows the sacrifices you're going to have to make. I will be 100% honest when I say I have not even seen my parents in about 2 years. Because they live up in Connecticut still, and I don't have the time to go up there, and they have their own lives, and they don't have the time to come see me. I've missed birthdays, weddings, graduations, all these events because I have been at work. And that's definitely like a big sacrifice that you have to make as a business owner is like, that is your responsibility to be there. And so, you're gonna miss events. You're gonna not be able to have normal weekends off or whatever. So I'm lucky that at this point, after 5 years, my friends and family understand. In the beginning, definitely, it was a bit of a shock that like, oh, she's not going to be there. Why is she not going to be there? Like,
wait, you really doing this?
Yeah.
I get that all the time. Wait, you really are doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think you were serious. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. No, it's so true though. It's so true. But it's a learning curve for everyone, I think. But as long as you're all on the same page, you can get through it.
Right. I mean, I've been there before, so.
I totally agree. You know, like in the business, you know, success is isolating. You know, and people don't see that. And it depends on like relationships as well. But owners must also protect their time and their energy and their well-being. You know, a successful business is really built through trust and teamwork and like customer service and like the support of our community. And if you don't have a healthy boss, you don't have a healthy business. Which, you know, goes into it. Like, let's talk about like advice for our future entrepreneurs, right? Like someone who does want to grow a business.
Right. And my question is, how do you respond when something doesn't work out?
Yeah. So I think the most important thing is to remember what's actually important.
Right.
So like when I'm training somebody new and say they burn a whole tray of cookies and that has to go right in the garbage and it's wasted time, it's wasted product, it's wasted money is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I have to remind myself what's important here. I don't want to be the boss that screams and yells because something goes wrong. I want to create an environment that is positive and healthy. And I believe so firmly in mental health. I tell all the people I interview, I'm like, mental health is number one. It's just as important as physical health.
Yeah.
Because if you're not mentally like present, you're not going to do a good job.
Exactly.
So in terms of dealing with challenges, I think just to have a level head and, you know, I have been known to like have to bite my tongue when like something really goes wrong. I remember there was one day Becca accidentally upended an entire thing of frosting all over the floor. And I looked and I gave like big eyes and she was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's okay. Like you take a second. You take a second and you're like, it's fine. Like it's not a big deal. But in the moment you're like, oh snap. Like that's a huge mess and that's not a great situation. But you just
think
have
of
to
the money.
at the end of the day, because
it
it's
is,
not coming out of her pocket. It comes out
of
and
yours,
when the girls make a mistake, am I a little bit like, oh, that sucks? Yes. But at the same time, I'm not going to make them feel bad about it because I'm not perfect. How could I expect them to be perfect?
Exactly. And I think if you expect them to be that way, we would fail religiously every single time.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why we have to really be patient, listen to understand, and really show them how to move forward and grow. To correction. This is another one. Be willing to accept correction. So you can grow.
Yeah.
And it's how you do it. Like you were saying, you can't just bite their head off.
No.
You have to come with them like, hey, this isn't really how we really need to do it. Can I please show you a better way that I found that will help you with time and money or whichever, you
got to use it as a learning tool.
Exactly.
Because if you're not learning something new every day, what are you doing?
Right.
And I learn every day.
Facts.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I
And
think, go ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But I was going to add something that, like, you know, in my past jobs that I, you know, deal with, you know, I know people like got a lesson learned, you know, just from their mistakes. Because I mean, everyone makes mistakes.
Of course.
No one's perfect, you know.
No one ever is perfect.
And someone gets like, you know, if you yell at somebody, you know, that person will get so emotional and think to myself, I'm not going to do this anymore. I give up. You got to respect the person, honestly, because that way that person will feel a little bit confident and be like, okay, next time I won't do this again.
Yeah.
And I'll learn from my mistakes.
Well, and I think people are their own worst critics anyway.
Oh, for sure.
You don't need somebody to yell at you to feel bad about yourself.
No.
Yeah.
You know, like if you know you made a mistake, you're going to feel bad. And I've had situations where like one of the younger girls ends up like crying in the back because they feel bad about something that they messed up. And I'm like, you don't need to be upset. Like, I'm not upset. Like, we can work through this. Like, we won't do it again, but we can learn from this. And I think that's really important too, is like finding that like balance between kindness and also being the boss, because you have to make sure that the job gets done properly.
Exactly.
But you don't need to be a jerk about it.
Exactly. And you have to sometimes go to your employees. I know I've had to do this before. I'm like, hey, I'm not coming to you as your friend right now. I'm talking to you as your boss. Because you can learn. We have to learn how to separate the two.
It's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
For sure. So as we are all in businesses, what advice would we give to new business owners?
Well, personally, the advice I'd give to new business owners is to make sure that you keep your passion.
Yeah.
I always tell people that I can teach the skills, I can teach you how to run the business, but if you don't have the passion, you're never going to be successful.
That's good.
You have to love what you're doing, because it's going to be a 24/7 job. And if you don't love what you're doing, it's not going to work.
Right.
What do you think, Karen? What advice should we give to new business owners? Like, what do you think?
Well, I mean, adding to what she said, it's very true. You have to have a passion. We work with people.
Yeah.
So that's one of our passions, to help people, to see people smile, to see people be happy. Like, for example, you as a bakery, when they see your pastries, you love to see their smiles on their face, like, oh, yum. And when they take that bite, like, oh my God, this is so good. So that gives you joy in your heart, and it adds to your passion. And it's just like me with my business, where I see people and I'm giving them their keys. And I just love to see the joy of them having their own home, and not just for them, but a lot of the times it's for their family, for their kids, a place where they're going to start a new chapter in their lives and create memories. And a lot of those things is what we take forever. Because we don't, like we mentioned earlier, in life, it's not about money. When we leave this earth, we're not taking money.
You don't take it with you.
We're taking memories. And it's beautiful to be a part of creating those memories for people in our community.
What about you, Carlos?
For my advice to all the listeners out there, and for y'all as well, that just if you love something, do it. My thing I like to do is like take care of pets and animals. So I want to fulfill my dream on that. And also like working with people as well that you get along with, because I get along with people in my past jobs, and we work this together. We're not going to be leaving one person behind. We're going to like help that person and work together. That way we keep the business growing and stuff.
Going.
So that's just my opinion for my But
yeah, I think for me, if I had to give somebody advice, I would say go to God first. Like first and foremost, That was a good one. Like that's my first thing. Like that's my first instinct. Like through anything, like go to God first. Second, make sure you take care of yourself and your family. Like make sure your health is good. If you need to step back, take time to step back. That's something I'm having to learn. It's like, okay, I'm busy all the time, but like, Tori, you need to take a step back and take care of your health. You know what I mean? And so like, I get that. Also, like you were saying, make sure you're always learning something, even if it's something small. Like you can try starting a new language. You know what I'm saying? On the side as a hobby, or expanding. Going into something that you've never done before, and be willing to take the chance. But also, I think my solid advice, besides going to God first, is always be listening to understand and try to leave it better than when you found it.
That's great.
Great answer.
Definitely.
Yeah, because like you don't know, coming from like a business owner as well, like you don't know what someone's going through. Like that could be their safe haven. It's their job. It's their one place where no one argues, no one is complaining. They may be having a bad day. We all are emotional creatures to a degree, and you don't know what someone's going through. And so I think leaving it better than when you found it is great, because then you're making an impact, because you don't really know how many people are actually watching you. And it's crazy. Just thinking, share some, real quick, everyone here knows like my story and everything, what I've gone through, and the amount of messages I now get from, folks, it's insane, and I didn't realize, like, man, people are really watching you. They really are watching you. And so how you present yourself is important, but also how you present yourself and you act to your employees is a whole nother ballgame. Because if you think about it, when they leave your facility, they represent you. And you represent them. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that was very profound.
Thank you. But we make mistakes. Like we, mistakes are often part of growing a business and entrepreneurship. I think resilience really means like learning how to adjust when something gets hard, right? And continuing. You don't have to pretend like everything is perfect, right? Like I think preparation, God's, preparing you for something big, and then he gives you the confidence and then the patience that goes behind that, and then he gives you more of the perseverance. They're really important parts of owning a business and being in an entrepreneurship, right?
Exactly.
And not just that, but being a leader in a management position. You don't have to be a CEO or a CFO or a managing director or a business owner. You can be a team lead. You can be a supervisor. You can be in some type of management position. You still are in leadership.
Right.
So,
and there's a reason why God placed you there.
Yeah. Because now look at how many people you're impacting.
It's kind of wild when you think about it.
Yeah.
because like you were saying, everybody's watching. For me, it's like I feel like everybody's listening finally.
Yeah.
And I feel like people I feel heard.
Agreed, because you do.
And it's validating.
It is validating.
And it's like, sometimes I have to stop myself and be like, this feels a little selfish. But then I'm at the same time, I'm like, no, you deserve this.
You do.
And I think that you have to remind yourself that sometimes is that you've put in the hard work. You've done all the sacrifices and the hard labor and all the stuff that led to where you are. And you've earned it.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember you've told me that several times, like, Tori, what are you doing? You've earned this. Like, don't feel guilty.
Exactly. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty because it's not just handed to you.
And it's not. You work for it.
Yeah.
Everything we all have, we've worked for it. You know, we haven't been handed anything.
Right.
You weren't handed the bakery. No. I wasn't handed, my career, or, we weren't handed this podcast. It had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Songwriting, songs, the business that you're running, and now on a board for, like, no one handed it to you. You worked for it. And so, like, it's a lot.
Yeah. And only God knows what we can handle.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is the one that gets all the praise.
Right? Amen.
Yeah,
Amen to that.
And he has a plan.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're living his purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Amen to that. Amen to that. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Your story is wonderful, reminded of the importance of patience, perseverance, and building meaningful relationships.
It was truly brief.
Yeah, it really was. And I just want to say, Charlotte, thank you for spending your evening with us and for sharing your journey so openly and transparent.
Yeah, I loved it. I love it. We learn so much more about your business and the challenges that, like, you have literally overcome, and the connections you made through Sugarcane and Shepard Desserts. Your experience and advice has given us a great deal for me to think about. I could see where I could apply some, things here, and I'm sure the three of us could as well. We do wish you and your bakery, like, so much success. We love it, and I'm always gonna be a customer. You literally make the cakes for my kids for their birthday parties and any event. So, but really, like, thank you for coming on the show, and thank you to everyone here taking time out of your day.
Well, it was my pleasure, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's it, guys. If you like this, episode, please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment, and we hope you have a good rest of your evening. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for Rooted Conversations.
Until next time, stay rooted in truth and open in conversation while navigating real life.